Hey y'all, it's Melissa at Twin Oaks Family Farm. It's been a minute since we did a video. We actually finished raising meat chickens last week. This is October 28th, 2025, recording this video. We took chickens to the processor for the last time on October 20th, 2025, and actually got our invoice back on the butchering and processing yesterday, which means I have about 7 days to go back to the processor and get the meat picked up and get it home. That helps them keep people's stock rotated out of their freezer so that they have ample storage space for other people bringing things in. So they need to keep product leaving the facility as they are getting it prepared for their customers. So we take the chickens there and then we give them time to do the butchering, do the processing, get the meat ready and frozen, get it ready for us to pick up, and then we go and get it and bring it back here. And then we'll sort it, get it organized for our clients, and I would say most of it's reserved. We always try to be really careful on taking pre-orders and not over reserve it. We don't want to run out and have orders left to fill, especially this time because we don't have any flocks coming behind that one. So we want to make sure that we can fill everything we committed to filling. So generally we'll only take reservations and pre-orders on the poultry we produced up to about 75% of how much poultry we actually expect to have, and we fill the reservations, and then when we can inventory what's left after pre-orders, we can promote that, and we're confident it's going to be gone. So it was a relief though just to finish the flock management, and now that's what needs to be prioritized this week, is going to get the poultry, getting it home, inventorying it, and then working with clients. And so other than that, actually this week it's really nice just to focus on domestic things. Right now I'm going to check for eggs, and then going to actually just talk about our meal planning for the week. That's something that I really struggle with and is hard for me. So I'll share with you what I'm doing, and hopefully you'll give me feedback what works for you as well. So a little bit of time has lapsed, and going back out to check on the chickens again and add some layer mash into their chicken pen. I can hear them clicking back there, hear their little chicken song. So gonna take a look at them, but I did want to talk a little bit about meal planning for a week at a time. Say, the meaning of meal planning is just that at the start of a week, I have some idea. We have somebody joining us. Some things I can fix for meals, filling and satisfying and nutritious meals for my household as the week goes on. And I want to have ingredients on hand to be able to prepare those meals. This is one of our barred rocks, and naturally chickens are very good at helping with meal planning and meal prep in terms of ingredients, because your chickens can help make sure that you always have. Yes, how are you? So she's in an active laying season by that squat behavior response we just saw there a couple of times. Your chickens can certainly help make sure that you always have fresh eggs on hand. Hi ladies. So naturally they came to join me, and that's basically a cue that we need to go give them some layer mash. That's what they want. So that's what meal planning is to me. I want to have a sense of what things can I prepare, and I want to have the ingredients on hand for those. I'm also getting to a place where I'm learning more and more about good ingredients and recognizing more and more how prevalent bad ingredients are in our food system. So when I go to a grocery store anymore, I basically feel like I'm only on the perimeter of the store. I'm never in the middle aisles. In the middle aisles is where all the processed food is, and on the perimeter aisles is where all the whole foods are. And when I say whole foods, I mean things that you recognize what source they came from, things that still look the way they did when produced from the land or when processed minimally from livestock. that's a struggle for me to have ideas of what to fix and to have the ingredients on hand. So for this week, basically just set out to have 5 kind of big themes or ideas, one for each work week day, and we would just go from there. One day I focused on baked potatoes, knowing that we could load the baked potatoes up with dairy and with vegetables, and we could accompany it with a simple meat, even if it was just like a bulk ground sausage or a bulk ground beef browned on the stovetop, and then that could be served on the side with the baked potatoes or on top. I got frozen vegetables. I leaned into frozen vegetables, even though that's a convenience food. When I got broccoli, that's the only ingredient in the broccoli is just broccoli. So things like that. So baked potatoes was one day. Another day was chili. And again, I leaned into a lot of convenience items like some canned soups, canned beans. I used canned beef broth, canned pinto beans, canned black beans, seasonings from what I have in my little spice cabinet, but it pulled together a chili recipe really, really quickly, and I had sour cream for topping. Another day we're going to lean into a breakfast theme, so we can have eggs fixed however we want. We can have ground sausage and potatoes, and that was great because the day we had baked potatoes, we had a big bag of potatoes for, so we had leftover potatoes. As far as the breakfast day, you can assemble those things and make them separate, or you can pile them into a casserole and enjoy them together. You can also have some tortillas on hand and make yourself some breakfast burritos out of those things. Okay, so that's 3 days. So our 4th theme is a garden vegetable soup. Again, gonna totally lean into some convenience items, some prepared chicken broth, and some frozen stewing vegetables and spices out of my spice cabinet. Could also use canned vegetables with that, but it's gonna make a hearty vegetable soup, chicken broth base, lots of veggies in it, and I can use chicken breast from our chickens that we raise for poultry. Even put in some noodles in there if we wanted to. And we thoroughly love Mexican food, so certainly one day's theme will be something with Mexican food. Will probably involve refried beans and sour cream, tortillas, and we'll figure out some cheese to go in there. And the veggies that work great with Mexican, like especially tomato, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, onions. We'll definitely include some garlic and some cilantro, and it is going to be delicioso. Yum. Can't wait till meal prep to actually get a yummy Mexican dish ready for the family. Putting things together, potentially leaning into convenience items like the frozen vegetables or the canned goods. We're still concentrating on, if we get a can of beans, that it's only prepared beans and water in the can. No extra ingredients that we don't want. If we're getting tomato sauce to use in the chili base, we want to look at the ingredients in the can and make sure that it's just stuff we want. It amazes me how many times I turn over even a can of some canned food and look in the ingredients and there's high fructose corn syrup or food dyes in there. So as far as ingredients, really leaning into taking a look at those ingredient lists and really prioritizing whole foods in those things that we're buying to put into what we're making. So we may be using convenience foods, but we're still really prioritizing whole foods, good ingredients, staying away from the baddies like particularly high fructose corn syrup. We don't need excess sugar. We don't want food dyes. We want short ingredient lists, and we want to be able to recognize all the things that are in the ingredient list. And for the actual hands-on prep time that I have for meals, make as big a portions as I can make, really, because what happens in my family is it's great if we have leftovers. First of all, there's 5 of us to feed, so we need a pretty significant amount of the food to start with to really make a full, satisfying meal for everybody. But also, we love it when there's leftovers. We'll put it in something that we can store in the freezer, and we have future meals out of that as well. So, gonna go out and finish taking care of the chickens. Thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think of those meal planning ideas, and let me know if you have some tips for me and for the community here about what meal planning ideas work really well for you, because I need to get better at this. We loved raising meat chickens and doing that as part of our farm operation, but it's also this huge relief not to be doing it anymore and to be able to lean back into these domestic household things that I greatly enjoy, and prepare meals for my family is one of those. How to improve on meals and the nutrition and the systems to prepare it. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know what y'all like to eat at your house and what systems you use to make meal planning smoothly for your home. Thanks so much. God bless y'all. Let's finish up with the chickens. You want to go get some layer mash? Let's go. Is the little chicken army gonna follow me? Come on. Come on, girls. Come on. It is cool having your own chickens. Oh, so there's a layer. Thought response. Kind of cool having your own chickens, because you kind of have your own fan club for real. Like, they heard my voice and they joined me. And as we're going back here, hopefully they'll all follow us. Come on. There we go. All right, let's get some feed. And they say thank you in farm fresh eggs. So meal planning for the chickens is easy. Layer mash, flock blocks, fresh water, treats from time to time. They especially love mealworms for snacks. Free ranging, getting to forage through the grass. Wish it was that easy for me. But thank you so much for joining me. Greatly appreciate it. I hope y'all are doing well.